In 1938, researchers in Germany discovered nuclear fission, the process of splitting an atom to release massive energy. Albert Einstein quickly warned the American government that the Nazis could weaponize this discovery to build a bomb of unimaginable power. That warning launched the Manhattan Project. It was a massive operation involving the US, UK, and Canada, consuming roughly 1% of America's total GDP. In July 1945, the Trinity test in New Mexico proved the science worked. This fireball marked the exact moment the United States became the world's first nuclear power. Days later, at the Potsdam Conference, President Harry Truman informed Soviet leader Joseph Stalin about the new weapon. Truman expected shock, but Stalin merely nodded, hoping the US would use it well against Japan. Stalin's calm was a mask. Soviet spies had already infiltrated the Manhattan Project, stealing the data necessary for the USSR to begin its own program years earlier. The bombing of Hiroshima ended World War II, but it also destroyed the illusion of a permanent American monopoly. A global arms race had officially begun. Using stolen data and captured German scientists, the Soviet Union detonated its first bomb in 1949. They reached the finish line years faster than any Western intelligence agency had predicted. Paranoia over the Soviet success led the US to pass new laws, abruptly cutting off all nuclear intelligence sharing with its closest ally, the United Kingdom. The British, determined to remain a world power despite the snub, used their own uranium reserves to successfully test a bomb in 1952. France followed soon after. Feeling marginalized by the two superpowers and seeking European sovereignty, President Charles de Gaulle pushed his nation to detonate its first device in the Sahara Desert in 1960. As this diagram shows, early bombs relied on fission, splitting atoms to release energy. But by the 1950s, scientists were moving toward thermonuclear fusion. By combining atoms together, they created the hydrogen bomb. These tests ignored the pleas of scientists who warned that humanity was creating a weapon 1,000 times more powerful than the Hiroshima bomb. Within a single decade, the destructive potential of human technology had increased by a factor of 1,000. The race eventually reached Asia. Initially, the USSR assisted China, but an ideological rift caused the Soviets to withdraw all technical support for China's nuclear program. China succeeded through a massive solo effort. They tested a basic atomic bomb in 1964 and mastered the far more complex hydrogen bomb only 2.5 years later. India, having lost a recent war to China and facing constant conflict with Pakistan, responded by developing its own weapon. They conducted a test in 1974, famously codenamed Smiling Buddha. Pakistan felt vulnerable and vowed to match India's power at any cost. A metallurgist named A.Q. Khan accelerated their program by stealing top-secret blueprints for uranium centrifuges from a facility in the Netherlands. In 1998, just weeks after a new series of Indian tests, Pakistan responded. They detonated 5 nuclear bombs deep inside these mountains. By the 1990s, the nuclear race expanded past the ideological standoff of the Cold War. It became a hyper-regional survival tactic for neighbors in immediate conflict. Other countries built their arsenals in total secrecy. Israel constructed an underground facility in the desert, using fake walls and hidden elevators to keep American inspectors from seeing their progress. The world finally got proof of Israel's arsenal when technician Mordecai Vanunu smuggled out photos. Mossad agents later drugged and kidnapped him in Rome to silence him. In the 1980s, South Africa followed a path of profound isolation. Surrounded by perceived enemies, the government built 6 functional nuclear bombs as a final insurance policy. However, as the regime prepared for the transition to Nelson Mandela's leadership, they chose to voluntarily dismantle their entire arsenal and destroy the blueprints. North Korea took the opposite approach. Using designs smuggled from Pakistan, they withdrew from international treaties to ensure that the Kim family regime could survive, even under the constant threat of invasion. While treaties have successfully discouraged proliferation in many countries, North Korea's arsenal proves that international oversight faces extreme hurdles when a regime is convinced that only a nuclear weapon can ensure its survival. The nuclear club has grown from 1 member to 10. Beyond those 10, American nuclear weapons are distributed across several European allied nations, from Turkey to the Netherlands. Other nations have tried to join, but were stopped by force. Israel launched airstrikes to destroy reactors being built in Iraq and Syria before they could become operational. We also have threshold states like Japan. They possess advanced rocketry and massive plutonium reserves. Experts believe Japan could assemble a nuclear weapon in mere months if they chose to. The current peace relies on mutually assured destruction. It is guaranteed by untrackable nuclear-armed submarines like this one, which can retaliate even if their home country is wiped off the map. The science that began in a German lab is no longer a secret. Today, the physical ability to build a doomsday device exists in labs around the globe. The only thing keeping the club from expanding is politics.